Hi everyone, I am Karthikeyan, Assistant Professor, JJ College of Arts and Science, Pudukkottai. Now we will see the topic of types of pastries in bakery and confectionery. Pastry. What is mean pastry? Pastry is baked food made with the dough of flour, water, shortening, savories, or sweetened. Sweetened pastries are often desired as the bakery and confectionery. The shortening means solid fat, including the butter or lard. Pastry ingredients. The very nature of most pastries is to be light, airy, flaky, and buttery. All pastry started out as a combination of ingredients such as water, salt, sugar, fat, flour. Types of pastry. There are a number of types of pastries that you can experiment with: puff pastries, short crust pastries, filo pastry, flaky pastry, chouf pastry, Danish pastry. Puff pastry. Now we discuss about the what is mean the puff pastry, how to make the puff pastry, what are the stages to classify the different types of pastry. Now we will see the puff pastry. The puff pastry is lighty and flaky pastry made from the laminated dough or dough that is made by the alternative layer or butter. On the dough, the only ingredients used to make the puff pastry are butter, salt, water, and flour. No leavening agents are required. Now we discuss the basically made of pastry. Basic of made the pastry stretches. How to make the pastry sheets. Now we make the dough and roll the dough as the like a sheet. After rolling the sheet and then fold the dough or sheet and then give the rest half an hour. That is called the resting period. It's make the softy and layery stretches, and then after half an hours we are roll the like a sheet and then applying the fat and then fold it. Afterwards we give the resting periods. It is repeated the minimum 3 or 4 times. It's give the lot of flaky stretches and the puffy pastries. It is the basic methods to prepare the pastry stretches. Next one we will see the shortcut pastry. Shortcut pastry, the French style dough with the crumpy biscuits like stretcher. This style of dough short because the amount of flavors usually double amount of fat allow the break apart more easily than American style pie dough. It is the shortcut pastry. It is the pastry to prepare the pie dishes, is the stuffing dishes. It's make the apple pie charts. Another one thing we will discuss about the filo pastry. Is the filo pastry is like the stuffing pastry. These types of pastry we made like a stuffing styles. The filo is very fine thin pastry made with the flour, water, and melted butter. The dough is sheeted and sprinkled with the fruits and nuts, rolled like Swiss rolls, and cut into the desired size. Place it on a cleaned tray. Give a egg wash and bake it at the correct temperature. It can be baked and also deep fried. Next one thing, flaky pastry. Flaky pastry, also known as the quick pastry, blitz pastry or rough pastry, light and thin unleavened pastry that is similar to but is distinct from the puff pastry. It is often called the quick pastry. Pastry in refer in the short time its preparation requires. Next one, choose pastry. Choose pastry is the delicate pastry, a hollow cells which is crispy while eating. It can be piped in different shape and filled with the cream, custard and coated with melted chocolate glaze or fountain icing, and also decorated with nuts. Next one, a cooked paste or light dough contain the egg, water or milk, butter and flour that puff up when baked into nearly hollow shell. Used to make eclairs, profiteroles, cream puff and other filled pastries. This is the chose pastry. Next one thing, Danish pastry. A sweet yeast dough laminated with fat and cut into the different shape and use the chocolate or cheese or any sweet fillings that is called the Danish pastry. This is one of the famous pastries in the world. Next one thing, general tips for working with the pastries. What are the rules to should be followed in the bakery at the time of pastry preparation? Don't overwork the dough. Roll and handle the shortcut pastry as little as possible, as overworking it can be produce tough and unpleasant result. Second one, use the metal tart tin. Choose a metal tart tin rather than the ceramic ones. Ensure the bottom of your tart it well cooked. The ceramic tart tin, though pretty, can cause the soggy bottom. Next one, don't stretch. When you're lining tart tin, be careful not to stretch the pastry as this will cause it to sink the back when the cooking they could cause the leaks. Next one, repair the tears. If you pastry rip as you are lining the tart tin, don't worry. Simple wet your fingers or use the brush to moisten the edges of the tear. Gently push them together so the gap is disappearance. Allow the little overhang to avoid the sides of a tart from the sinking to low and causes leak. Leave a little extra pastry hanging over the rim of the tin. You can trim it neatly with a sharp knife after it's cooked. Next one thing, rest. Once you have the lined the tart tin, place in the fridge to rest for the at least 5 minutes before the putting into the oven to allow the fat to harden before cooking. Next one thing, bake it bite. It most cause pastry take the longer to cook than the filling, so give it head. Start by the par, baking it before adding the content. Press the base numerous times with a fork to avoid the bubbles, then line it with the baking paper and fill with the baking beans, rice or copper coins before placing in the oven. Next one, watch the color. If the pastry being to the color too much before the filling is cooked, cover it loosely with the pie of foil to keep it from burning. The clever tricks is to be protect the edges by covering them with a upturned tart tin with the bottom removed. Next one, use the pie bird. When the baking the pie, allow the steam generally by the bubbling the filling to escaping by the place of pie chimney, also called the pie bed. The pie vent or pie funnel. In the middle of your pie, this day making a slit in the center of your pastry. Lid before covering your filling and pushing the pie chimney carefully through the slit. Not only does it allow the steam to escape easily, preventing soggy pastry, it also provides support so your lid will not shake in the middle. If you don't have the pipe chimney, put the vent into the pastry lid with the sharp knife. Next one thing, sprinkle with the sugar. Finish the sweet pie with dusting or caster sugar for the pleasing crunch. Now we come the end of the sections, various types of pastries. This is the video give the clear idea about the types of pastry. So we end to the section. Thank you.